The VLAN management in the GUI of macmon is intuitive to configure and therefore time-saving. The basic requirement is that the VLANs have already been created on the access switches controlled by macmon. The switches in use must support the reading and setting via SNMP. After a switch has been registered into macmon and was scanned for the first time, the available VLANs are displayed directly in the corresponding tab. VLAN ID, VLAN names and the binding to the interfaces can be seen in an instant. With a detailed overview of the switches, you have the possibility to set an access VLAN directly on each interface. All available VLANs can be selected via a pull-down menu. The endpoint device connected to the interface then communicates in the set VLAN. This option is quite handy for the initial setup. If, as sensibly desired, you want to set the access VLAN depending on the endpoint device, the dynamic VLAN management is the answer. You may, for example, configure a VLAN default directly at a MAC address or to all MAC addresses that are organised in a group. Possible entries here are VLAN ID, even several or alliances. The principle is simple. If a MAC address with a set VLAN entry is recognised on an interface, the corresponding access VLANs is set on this interface. This way, each endpoint device that communicates in a network receives the appropriate resources. Any necessary changes in the VLAN configuration are carried out without manual intervention. VLAN configurations, in addition, are possible for other cases. For MAC addresses that are not in the whitelist of macmon, a special VLAN for unauthorized devices can be configured. If an unknown MAC address is seen on a switch port, the interface is being set to the unauthorized VLAN. Macmon also has the possibility to react to violations of the company's security policy. In this case, a special quarantine VLAN, the remediation VLAN, can be configured. If, for example, a virus has been detected on a company PC, the endpoint device can be instantly isolated from the productive network. In order for macmon to change the VLAN automatically according to the VLAN specification, only one rule must be activated. Macmon generates events by analysing relevant monitoring data. In response to an event, a command can be executed. In case of the VLAN management, the event is called wrong VLAN. The VLAN configured in the interface differs from the target VLAN of the MAC address. In the policies, the already pre-configured rule must be activated. The wrong VLAN event is followed by the set VLAN command, setting the target VLAN of the MAC address at the interface. Conditions help to clarify this rule. For example, it can be determined that VLAN management is only performed on selected interfaces, on defined switches, or in one location. In addition to the reactive SNMP-based capability, macmon also manages VLAN management with proactive authentication, such as 802.1x. The integrated radius server receives the authorization request from a switch or access point, and for example responds with an accept and a configured VLAN ID for this session of the endpoint device. The authorization levels, depending on the type of authorization request, result in automatically assigning a different VLAN for a radius or 802.1x session, whether low with a MAC address, medium with username password, or high with a certificate. The rules of the radius authorization are dynamically adjusted in the background. If you want further information on the VLAN Manager or other modules, please visit our frequent webinars. The dates are available on our homepage. We look forward to talking to you. Many greetings from Berlin, your macmon team.